What are you going to do about it? I'll suck your dick if you have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
Go on.
And I can do it on your wedding day and your birthday.
Okay, well,
and
we'll
days
see.
After.
Okay.
I've been in situations where he's been with you in a social setting. He'll call me after.
And another one bites the dust. Are we surprised? Okay, so Sadia Khan, the self-proclaimed psychologist and high-value woman coach, is facing a public unraveling after being exposed as the side piece of a soon-to-be married man. I think at this point, we have to come to terms with the fact that most of these online personalities, no matter how good they look, are lying to us. Many of them are, and we trust them because they're nice to look at. So a recorded conversation between Khan and the man's fiancée surfaced, along with screenshots showing her clinging to him, which only intensified the backlash. Her carefully curated high-value persona is collapsing under scrutiny. Let's be honest, the idea of a single, unmarried 39-year-old woman living in Dubai, working as a relationship coach while branding herself as high value, was already an oxymoron waiting to be exposed. This is the same woman charging £6,000, about $8,000, for one-on-one coaching sessions on how to be a high-value man. Yet when her married benefactor finally confronted her, she didn't take accountability. Instead, she resorted to gaslighting and deflection, classic manipulation tactics. When cornered, she shifted blame, changed the narrative, and attempted to recast herself as the victim. The reality is stark. Her entire lifestyle, brand, and so-called high-value image were never self-made. They were funded and constructed by a married man who financed her lifestyle, paid her bills, and essentially manufactured the persona she sold to the public. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Without him, there is no high-value Sadia Khan, only the illusion of one. In the digital age, social media has given rise to a new class of self-proclaimed experts who wield disproportionate influence over their audiences. Among them are individuals presenting themselves as psychologists or relationship authorities, often without the qualifications or ethical grounding such roles require. So who is Sadia Khan? Sadia Khan, a Dubai-based influencer of Pakistani origin, who has built her brand on supposed psychological expertise, high-value coaching, and provocative commentary. Khan publicly claims to hold both a Bachelor of Science and a Master of Science in Psychology. If authentic, these degrees should qualify her for membership in the British Psychological Society BPS and inclusion in the HCPC Register of Practicing Psychologists. However, she is absent from both databases. The lack of verifiable credentials strongly suggests that her academic claims are either exaggerated, misrepresented, or outright fabricated. Khan has also asserted that she worked as a teacher in the United Kingdom, yet no verifiable records or official qualifications confirm her employment or licensure in the field of education. This further calls into question the integrity of her professional narrative. Despite these glaring inconsistencies, Khan charges exorbitant fees under the guise of professional expertise. Reports cite her asking as much as £550 for a 50-minute virtual session, upwards of $8,000 for one-on-one calls, and even $50,000 for speaking engagements. Critics argue this is a deliberate exploitation of vulnerable clients who believe they are receiving legitimate psychological or coaching services.
That there's something called the Wayback Machine. Everything on the internet lives forever. So I went through her website archives and I saw what it looked like a couple of years ago. And I found what she had. Look at this shit, bro. This was on her website as proof that she's educated. So this is her Bachelor of Science. Here it is. This fake fucking Photoshop degree of a master's was on her website, my nigga. It has no date. When do you ever see a degree with no date of issue?
No date.
Do you see the name? That is a clearly Photoshopped on top of this degree.
That is. But basically what happened was she probably took the pictures of that somewhere. And because she took it, it's kind of pixelated.
Yes.
And then she added her name on, which is a clear name.
Okay, you see Master of Science, Psychology of Education?
Yeah, that never happened.
Not only did it never happen, but I got something good for you.
Oh my God.
You said she took it from somewhere. She took it from here, nigga. This is it right there. It's the same doctor. It's the same everything. That's it. She stole this person's degree.
She's trying to lose the degree. Oh my God.
Anyone who has a degree will tell you they would never issue you that without a date.
No, not without a date. That's crazy.
Again, remember, this was on her website as proof that she has that education. She sent me every degree, never sent me her master's. The reason why is she knows it looks bad if she tries to fake that shit too. Now,
SadiaPsychology.com.
it was on her website. Now we go to the next one. The devil's in the details. It all matters to the con. Okay, Center of Excellence is the one that she always brings up and she shows everyone the degrees or whatever.
So what
it's an online school sham. Not serious. You would never become a psychologist from going to this school for 1,000 years. It's one of those places where you go online, you say a bunch of things, and then they give you a piece of paper. That's it. And there's a lot of fake schools that exist online like that where you can just pay some money and you get a certificate, but it doesn't actually apply for any real world jobs.
Sadia Psychology, the wannabe gaslighter psychologist. I asked her
for her qualification today, and she got very personal. All I wanted to know what your qualification was. In order to offer services as a psychologist or work in the UK, you have to register with SCPC. You can simply go there, do the research, and muy moment, she is not registered within the UK, and she is not registered with any other register. Let's look at her qualification. Center of Excellence. If you go on Google and type review, you will know what kind of institution this is. Center of Excellence, okay? They offer a $29 course, okay? The course name is Relationship Psychology Diploma, and in a couple of hours, you could do it as well. But the problem here is that this is not registered with National Counseling or Psychotherapy Society. So technically, she is not allowed to give relationship coaching in the UK. And by the way, anyone like you, me, can do this £29 course. Why don't you guys do the course, £29 course, and then charge people $300? Like if somebody graduated with low degree, they can't call themselves lawyer or solicitors until they do the training or they are registered somewhere. Similarly, a guy who has done a psychology degree cannot call himself a psychologist. So if anybody tells you that they are a psychologist, ask for their registration number, okay? Just by doing a degree, you don't become a psychologist. And when I look at her degrees closely, there's no date. So that's why I can't even trust on her degrees. In my view, Sadia, you are not a psychologist. If you are a psychologist, put your registration number on your website.
Psychology practice. The BPS logo is extremely misleading.
What she did was to give herself a more legit feel. She just fucking photoshopped these two together.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's what she did to give. You can look it up. Center of Excellence and British. Nothing to do with each other. Okay, now listen to her explanation again because I asked her about this.
Yeah, I guess the question was like the British Psychological Society. I guess they didn't really have an association with the Center of Excellence, and so they questioned how these things were like merged together.
When you are BPS accredited, what that simply means is that organization has put it through BPS and they've approved of it. I can send any details for that if that needs it.
She's saying the Center of Excellence put it, but they can't. The Center of Excellence is a place where they have stuff like herbology and like spirituality.
The logo placement at the top is misleading. The British Psychological Society is shown. The BPS does not recognise COE courses as valid qualifications for psychology practice.
They don't. I contacted them. They said we have nothing to do with the Center of Excellence. We've never had. She did a lot of this like trying to garner sympathy, but you know your boy. I don't care.
There's gonna be some camming people, man.
So I know you got your BCS from University of London. Is there also a master's?
Yes. Well, I have a master's. I have a master's in education, and it's what happens with your master in education. You qualify it as a QTS, and that means that you can become a teacher.
I keep asking about her master's, and she keeps mentioning this QTS shit. And I'm like, show me your degree, bitch.
Master's degrees are just like vegan people. You don't need to ask. They'll tell you they have.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? That's the first thing that they're gonna leave.
Yo, your master's. Where your master's at? Oh, is that what it is? Yo, let me see. Okay. Oh, hold up. Ask me for my master's.
Do you have your master's?
So I have my QTS right here. The number is right there. Any other questions?
Yes, do you have your master's?
Absolutely. If you just look right here at my QTS.
Cool. What about your master's?
Okay. Say Say Do you want to know what she said at the end about the UCL?
What did she say?
Because after we were done the call, I'm like, listen, I'm not going to make another video if you just send me the UCL and your British Psychology Association certificate. I want to see that because those two pieces.
That's a big one.
Sadia said it's okay if we stick with the narrative that she's not qualified and it is fake. She's super nervous. Anything said will lead to more backlash. We're so sorry to do this. It's just that she has to be very, very careful. If she says the rumors are not true, she may get new rumors. So sorry for this. So, certificate copy of entry of marriage. She sent me that.
Send me your UCL.
No, I have my citizenship papers. Would you like to see those?
No, I want to see the UCL.
I have a Costco card.
I want to see your master's.
I don't have a master. I've never had one. We're free. We love being free. And mind you, she told me so many times that she's going to get it for me.
And I can get that everything for you. If you need anything notarized, I can put everything sent to you, and I can get all of that sent to you with the numbers associated with it. I can get all of that sent to you as well.
Nevertheless, Khan has amassed a sizable following across digital platforms. She appeals simultaneously to young women searching for guidance and to men within red pill communities who amplify her brand of gender discourse. This dual appeal has enabled her to carve out a profitable niche in the increasingly blurred intersection of influencer culture, pseudo-psychology, and online grift. Fitness influencer John Dorsey exposed that she uses waist-slimming filters in her videos. The background literally warps when the filter activates. So not only is she selling fake psychology, she's also selling a fake image of herself. Filtered body, Spanx, the whole package. Images have been circulating online showing her before and after plastic surgery, a pattern that's all too common among these so-called online coaches and gurus. Many of them are willing to completely reconstruct their appearance, whether through surgery, bleaching, or other drastic alterations, in order to fit into a beauty standard they can market. At the end of the day, it's not about authenticity. It's about selling an image. They're not interested in genuine transformation or guidance. They're grifters chasing profit. And they know that appearance is part of the formula. People are more likely to purchase coaching sessions from someone who fits conventional beauty standards, and these individuals exploit that reality to the fullest. She carefully markets herself as polished and high class, with a refined British accent, but behind the curtain, she's messy, unrefined, and deeply hypocritical. This is completely at odds with the classy, high-value persona she sells online.
Alright guys, so this story is getting very bizarre. This is Sadia Khan. the online influencer psychologist that promises she can show you how to attract women, be a better man, and fix your relationship. I did a story on her the other day because she edits her videos and I thought it was very funny. I criticized her in the video because it was very obvious that she puts waist filters on any video where her full body is shown, and in a lot of her videos she's talking about how much self-confidence she has and how she knows what she is, blah 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 blah, and that's what's necessary to attract a partner, etc. etc. But when I called her out, she lost her goddamn mind. It's now been about 48 hours, and she has spent the last 2 days accusing my followers of being animal porn addicts, being cheaters, being prostitutes, and everything in between. But today she started a new trend. These are videos that my followers sent me. This person left a comment on her page, and she tried to call them via audio 4 or 5 times. And then when they wouldn't pick up, she left the threatening message that you'll see scroll by here: "Pick up, bitch, or I'm gonna post your address online." And here's another one from another one of my following. Pick up, don't be scared. Don't be scared, pick up. Calling over and over and over and over again. More threats. This is a person that sells one-on-one phone call coaching bullshits for 6,000 GBP, which I understand now is 8,000 USD, on how to be a high-value man. But hey guys, I can save you the 6,000 GBP. If you want to call for free from Sadia, just leave a troll comment on her page. She'll try to call you over and over and over, free of charge.
So let's take a closer look at some of the advice this woman promotes.
I work with lots of mistresses, and what I find that girls that choose to be mistress, the psychology of the woman that actually goes on to be a mistress is she usually has a really intense trust issues, and those mistresses, they don't trust men. They think men are going to cheat. So I'd rather know who he's cheating with and what time. So I'd rather know, and they are so much calmer. I'll meet mistresses and they're so much calmer with when he's there, when she's a mistress, than when he becomes a husband. The moment he becomes a husband, she doesn't trust him anymore. She's like, I know what used to happen when you used to sneak out to the car and make phone calls. I know what happens when you go on business trips. I used to be with you. So she becomes anxious again. She's like, I was so much happier when I would know by 8 o'clock he's with his wife, he's putting the kids to bed. I know where he is. He ain't going nowhere.
Sadia, you don't work with mistresses. You are the mistress. A lot of times people like this expose themselves through projection. You just have to pay attention. I keep telling you, listen to the messenger. What are they actually promoting? Is it division? Is it bashing men? Is it tearing down women? I'm going to stitch in a clip from one of the YouTubers I listen to often, because I really liked what he said here.
And you've been traumatized like Tyler. Tyler is a very traumatized man still in his 50s. He's never healed from that trauma and the things that happened to him. And what you notice with people who have trauma, they tend to project and they tend to go after people due to their own trauma. You notice it. The people who y'all see who are always obsessed with other people, always attacking other people, it's because they're hurting. They have trauma. They don't know how to deal with that trauma. So they try to go after other people to make them feel the way that they feel. And that's what you have with Tyler Perry.
I've spoken about this before in one of my other videos. It is not normal to constantly speak about others in a hateful way. Yes, there are evil people in this world, but there are also many people who mean well. The problem is, you don't usually see them on TV or hear them on the radio, because we know who controls those platforms. That's why it can feel like good people don't exist. But that's a lie. This is why I can't stand when women go online and bash all men, or bash all women. That's not truth, that's unresolved trauma speaking. Heal your trauma, stop projecting. If you followed me long enough and know my story, you know that my own mother and sister did me tremendous harm. If anyone had a reason to shout from the rooftops that all women are horrible, it would be me. But it's simply not true. If I, as a woman, can choose not to hate other women, then there must be others like me. Doesn't that make sense? We judge the world through the lens of our own inner world. That's why I will never subscribe to the toxic belief that all men are dogs or all women are jealous. And remember what God says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. What you carry in your heart shapes your reality. Your mindset and your words create the world you live in. But anyway, let's look at some more of her great advice.
When a woman is in love with a man, she can't help but play stupid games because it's part of a protection strategy. So what she'll do is say she's done when she's not done, or say she doesn't want to sleep with you when she does want to sleep with you. She'll say the opposite of what she truly means.
That's projection. That's what immature women like her do. Please don't play games with someone you truly love and see a future with. If you play games with a serious man, he'll walk away. play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I think height is a huge one. I honestly
How big is height for women?
I would
like
say,
really though, are women that superficial to think that height
sadly,
is that important for them?
depending on her height and her level of beauty. I would just say that, like, sometimes I meet men who are like 5'4", 5'3", and they'll say to me, I really, really want a beautiful girl. In my personal experience with beautiful women, what happens with them is they assume every man's super tall because that's all they've ever experienced. They don't know how to compromise on attractiveness because they've never really needed to. So they see the world through the lens of like, I didn't know men come in a different size. So they can be very shallow with that.
Interesting.
But even, unfortunately, I think height is to women what facial beauty is to men. So it kind of has that similar impact. It's not definite, but it has a similar impact.
Again, that's projection. Like me, for example, I never cared about height, and I think that's how I was able to attract a tall man. The man I dated before my fiancé was 5'6", while I'm 5'7", and he made around $80,000. Now I'm engaged to a man who's 6 feet tall and earns well over 6 figures. But here's the difference. I also stood by him when he lost his job and had to deliver Uber Eats for over 6 months. Do you understand? You can't be superficial and expect a perfect outcome. If you're fixated on height or other shallow traits, you might overlook a truly great man. Most men make around $80,000, and many of them could grow into 6-figure earners if given the chance. But when you demand the whole package up front, you end up competing with every other woman chasing the same guy. That's why so many women get used and discarded instead of taken seriously. A man can tell what you're really after, and he'll treat you accordingly.
So I find the whole movement of being a feminist and whole like girl power and girl's girl and I'm a girl's girl, it's so fake. It's so fake. Like the reality is, why is there girl code, girl this, when you guys are the first to throw each other under the bus if you're both after the same guy or if you see someone who's more attractive? It's fake. Girls only show girl code or are only like supporting other girls if they don't see them as a threat. The moment that girl is a threat in any way, shape or form, then girl code goes out the window.
This is classic projection. Of course, she sees every other woman as competition. She literally sleeps with other women's men. She judges others by her own character. I keep telling you, people like this always reveal themselves. Just because she has low character doesn't mean every woman does. Women like this are always the ones talking the most smack about other women. They see themselves in them.
There's no perks of being a good woman in this day and age. There's no market for it. You be a woman that doesn't show her body, isn't out in the club, doesn't get drunk, doesn't do this, doesn't dance, doesn't do all of these things. There isn't. Your inbox is like, what is that thing that? Tumbleweed. That's what your inbox will look like. You take one selfie with your chest out, with your arse out, someone's buying you a ticket to come out. Now tell me what is going to appeal to women and do more. If the standards of promiscuity were like, you're promiscuous, I ain't putting a penny in you, there would be no finessing, it would be impossible. But if strippers are making 10K a night, if girls with OnlyFans are making 10K a day, if a girl posts a thirst trap and gets flown out to Dubai, where are we going to direct women?
If you are a traditional woman who's got no pictures on Instagram, who isn't going out all day, every day, who isn't sleeping around and isn't getting lots of surgery and not putting on loads of makeup, and you're simple, just a traditional woman, there's no reward in that. You will never find a date. You'll never find a man that says, here, let me take you out, here, let me do this. Whereas if you are the most promiscuous, provocative, dangerous woman, your DMs are endless and you are booked every single day of the week and you get to choose which country you want to fly out to. So humans are going to look at where's the most reward, and they're going to lean towards whatever's the easiest and most rewarding and profitable, unfortunately.
Again, projection. Jesus Christ, this woman is a moron. If you're a half-naked, cheeks-out IG model with thousands of DMs and men flying you out, you're a sex worker. Most IG models fall into this category. Nobody is marrying sex workers. The best you can do is become a single mom, live a life of loneliness, and go through pump and dump cycles until you age out. This is not the channel where I babysit women or tell you all are welcome. If you're a sex worker, you're not welcome here. I don't respect that lifestyle, stay away. But if you're a reformed sex worker, you're welcome. Let's get your mind right, break soul ties, and remove the sex demons you collected from your past promiscuity. Okay, let's listen to some more advice from this idiot.
In this day and age, the women that are actually the least promiscuous, the most traditional, don't have sexual experience, struggle to find a man. Whereas a woman with every surgery, with every tattoo, with all of her body out everywhere, she has endless queue of men. Now, they're going to argue, no, but we don't want to marry those girls. They're actually lying. Men are very happy to marry the woman that gives them the most sexual pleasure. Hot Girl's Crazy, I love that video. Yeah. Right. And with hot girls, they get the worst version of men. They really get the worst version of men. Again, the men in the comments, oh, you're blaming us. But here's what it is. Men like sex. They like pretty women. So when they see a pretty girl and a hot girl, they can't help but become a guy that's trying to conquer her, they're trying to get her. And he'll risk it all. If he's married, he doesn't care. If it's at the gym, he doesn't care. If it's at work, he'll cross the work boundaries. They lose their sense of professionalism or their sense of like loyalty just to kind of get an access to her. So she starts to go through life thinking, men are trash. This guy had a girlfriend. This guy was married. That guy's my boss.
So which one is it, Sadia? Do they want to marry the most promiscuous woman? Or do they just want to pump and dump? She constantly contradicts herself. Let me tell you the truth. As a beautiful woman, you're sexualized from a young age. Most men want to experience you because really, what man wouldn't? But your responsibility as a beautiful woman is to protect your purity as much as possible. That's not always easy. Attractive women are constantly tested, seduced by gifts, attention, and promises, all just so men can say they had access to you. That's one of the hidden disadvantages of being pretty. You have to prove that you're not easy, that you can't be bought, that you're not just another girl with hundreds of DMs, and that you actually desire something traditional. Sadly, many beautiful women end up exploited because they allow themselves to be commodified. But this isn't only the struggle of attractive women. Average women get pumped and dumped too. And I think that's why many women turn to the sprinkle mentality, trying to flip the game in their favor. But that path only leads to emptiness. You get used to men treating you like a toy, and even if you convince yourself that the bags, trips, and dinners make it worth it, your self-esteem silently erodes. You'll try to mask it, but your subconscious will carry the scars. Then, when you decide to finally leave that lifestyle behind, dating becomes difficult. Not because men won't want you, but because you no longer truly respect yourself. And when you don't love or respect yourself, it becomes nearly impossible for others to do so.
That attractive women will say to unattractive women, be like, what? Don't settle for less. What are you talking about? If he didn't take you to a nice restaurant, that means he doesn't want you. And it's like, but then that's the most she can extract out of a man. Why would you put your beautiful standards on this average looking woman? Or if it's like, don't settle, ladies, you're somebody else's dream girl. No, some women are nobody's dream girl. They're somebody's wife, but they're not any man's dream girl because they don't look like Pamela Anderson or they don't look like Megan Fox. So not every girl is somebody's dream girl.
It's just such a hard thing to sell to women because it's...
But it's the reality. Well, like, I'm majority of men's not their dream girl. It's not the end of the world with that. But it takes a self-esteem to understand. Look, here's the thing. People who have high self-esteem attached to truths. They enjoy truths. Truth means something to them. People with low self-esteem see truths as threats and they see it as an insult. You have to really have an unwavering desire to be close to the truth.
This idea that only beautiful women deserve nice treatment, while average women should settle for less, is one of the most toxic messages being pushed right now. And the irony is, it's coming from someone who literally rearranged her face through surgery, makes a living as a sex worker, and is a side piece at nearly 40 while calling herself a psychologist. So let's consider the source. First of all, people deserve to be treated well regardless of how attractive they are. That's the point of having standards, not settling for a man who doesn't value you. And beauty doesn't guarantee respect. Beautiful women get cheated on every day. Beyoncé, Halle Berry, Jennifer Aniston, Megan Fox, Shakira, Adriana Lima, all got cheated on. If beauty was the golden ticket, none of these women would have experienced that. On the flip side, I know so-called average women being treated like absolute queens by their husbands. I've seen women society might not consider beautiful, out of shape, plain, or even ugly by some standards. Living happily, loved and spoiled by men who cherish them. Beauty is subjective. What one man finds average, another man considers his dream girl. And that's the real point. You don't have to be conventionally beautiful to be somebody's dream woman. Attraction is layered. Personality, femininity, values, respect, loyalty. Men marry and invest in women they trust, not just the ones they want to experience for a season. Pretty privilege exists, sure, but pretty girls can also be deeply insecure, treated like trophies, or not taken seriously in long-term relationships. So, when this woman says only beautiful women should expect to be taken to nice restaurants, it's shallow, sad, and flat-out wrong. Should an average man not take an average woman out on a first date? That logic crumbles instantly. Relationships aren't transactions. They're about value, respect, and compatibility. At the end of the day, if a man doesn't value you, it's better to be single than married to someone who resents you. Beauty fades, surgeries dissolve, and filters come off, but the bond between two people who truly respect and love each other, that's what lasts. Don't settle for being neglected. And don't buy into the lie that you need to look like Pamela Anderson or Megan Fox to be worthy of good treatment, because clearly even they weren't immune to being fumbled.
Wrong makes her points right, and her point was that you have to be fucking fit to make a man submit. So she's backhandedly trying to say that I'm clapped. Yeah, but we're allowed to not agree, right? Well, like, we're allowed to disagree, not according to her. Okay? Anyway, we have to show you the whole fucking tea. So this is the clip that was up on our TikTok. Yeah.
You have to remember when you're taking advice, you have to remember, just like you have to remember your budget price, like money-wise, you have to remember your budget looks-wise. If you're not incredibly beautiful, it's limited how much submission you can get out of men. If you're hyper-beautiful, you'd be shocked at how much men will submit to you.
I'm telling you right now, the amount of what you most population will call clapped girls I have seen get the most, finesse the most, marry the best, get the most guys whipped, and I have seen the most sexiest, beautiful, fittest women get smashed and fucking dashed like fucking trash. And this is what she said. Sadly, just saw a video of this girl complaining her man never wants to be home, and how he wants her to get bigger lips. Despite Mandy having a fantastic personality, he's not submitting at all. You know what I don't like? Sadly. Oh, sadly.
Oh, yeah.
You're pitying me. I don't like it, someone fucking pitying
No, but
me.
also that...
Once again, instead of addressing a perfectly reasonable argument, Sadia chose to attack this woman's looks.
Who benefits more in marriage, man or woman?
I think there's no benefit for a man, unfortunately, in the Western way of marriage. I think it's so sickening that, we have this agreement that women, when they divorce a man, they can just leave with a lot of his money or expect alimony for the rest of their life. And one of the things I always ask women is, are you going to have sex with him after you divorce for the rest of your life? And she's like, why would I do that? I was like, then why do you expect payment for the rest of your life? It's so strange that they want the perks and the lifestyle of the one that they attained from jumping on the back of their husband after the divorce, yet they wouldn't give anything after the divorce. They don't even give a lot of that during the marriage, let alone after.
Oh my god, this woman is a complete moron. This woman claimed that marriage doesn't benefit men because, according to her, when divorce happens, the wife automatically gets half and men are stuck paying alimony. That's just not true, and the numbers don't back her up. First of all, most men in America don't even make over $80,000 a year. That means the majority barely have significant savings or assets for a divorce court to split in half in the way she's describing. The image of men constantly being drained of their wealth through divorce is exaggerated and applies mostly to high earners or celebrity cases, not the average guy. Second, alimony is not nearly as common as she makes it sound. Studies and court data show that only about 10 to 15% of divorces in the U.S. involve alimony at all. That means in 85 to 90% of cases, nobody is paying spousal support. And even when it is ordered, it's usually temporary, what's called rehabilitative support, designed to help the lower-earning spouse get back on their feet, not lifelong payments. Permanent alimony is extremely rare today, and generally only applies to long-term marriages, 15 to 20 plus years, where one spouse never worked or has major health limitations. What's actually much more common is child support, because kids are prioritized. That's not the same thing as alimony, and it isn't a men get robbed situation, it's about taking care of children. So the truth is, most men are not losing half their income or paying alimony for life after divorce. That narrative only really fits the wealthy elite or sensationalized celebrity cases. For the average American man, marriage is not the financial death sentence people like her make it out to be.
I'll say this. I think every single coach I've seen online has turned out to be a scam or somebody who lives a really fucked up life. Every single time. I don't know how it's this consistent. If they have something they have to sell in terms of like, I have the answers, come here and get this coaching, they start to put on a facade. They have no choice. If people ask me like, oh, Abba, you're probably, I have nothing to hide because I have nothing I want to sell you. I'm not coaching nobody. No. I know my own fallibility. I don't even know how I'd coach somebody else because I don't know you and I don't even know what the answer is for you. Right? And you can't give me the answers because you don't even know what issues I got.
But we're not
I might not even be self-aware enough to know some of my issues. You can't see it.
We're not selling anything.
That's my point. When anyone gets online, they're like, I have the answers. Come take my course. I promise you. It's been my experience. They all turn out to be frauds. Yo. Like, she's telling people like, oh, this is how you get a high-value woman, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bitch, you can't get yourself a high-value man. You can't do none of the shit you're talking about. You a side piece.
I mean, technically, she got a high value man.
Not even, because her definition of a high value man is someone who isn't promiscuous, who has self-control, who is disciplined, who doesn't, put his wife at risk. Meanwhile, she DMing the wife being like, I'll suck his bitch.
I couldn't agree more. When these online coaches and gurus try to sell you courses promising some kind of secret sauce, it's always a scam. Everything they're teaching is already out there for free. Whatever it is you need help with, I promise you, you can just Google it. There's a book, an article, or a video that covers it. Stop giving your money to these grifters. Save your cash and use the free resources available to you.
You guys want to listen to internet gurus? Look at what Sadia Khan said. Look, they told her, please leave my husband alone. She said that's the best thing that she could come up with in her internet guru-ness brain and the fake degrees that she's buying. Stop listening to these guys. Just live your life by yourself.
Girls, you can be 100 times prettier than a man and you still might not be his dream girl. The only way to be a man's dream girl...
Instead of focusing on being a man's dream girl, be your own dream girl. A girl who is confident, who is self-reliant. A girl who loves herself. Have you ever seen a man saying that he wants to be a dream man of a girl? We never say that because we are focused on ourselves. And you need to remember, our dream girls keep on changing. When a man is in his teens or 20s, his dream girl is very different to when he is in 30s. So are you going to keep changing and adapting yourselves according to our needs? Otherwise, you will end up like Sadia Psychology, who is in her 40s now and struggling to be somebody's dream girl. Clearly, she says she's not married.